My brother went from killing animals to being a kindergarten graduate. My brother is 6 years old. I am 28. To make things as simple as possible, my parents suck. Like they really, really suck. Last January I had just started my last semester of nursing school. One day I was walking out to my truck to go to class and DSS is in the driveway. They tell me that my brother is going into foster care tomorrow and I'm the only option left, so they wanted to ask me before they proceeded. I didn't even know my brother had been taken or anything that had been going on. Again, my parents suck and I had blocked them and shut off all contact for a while. Apparently 2 months prior my brother's mom had another baby that was born in withdrawal from meth, benzos and Suboxone. My dad also failed for meth and benzos. Unfortunately the baby died. My brother was also removed that day. He had went to another family member initially, but she could not handle him and there was no other family members that could pass a drug test. Except me. I decided to take him. They warned me. He's violent, his behaviors are horrible, he has killed animals. I took him anyway. I hadn't saw my brother much in the last couple of years, but I decided to give it a shot. It was a nightmare. He was 5 and had been expelled from kindergarten twice. I tried to enroll him in kindergarten at a different school, but he couldn't function a day without hitting, cussing, destroying classrooms, throwing stuff. One day his kindergarten teacher had to evacuate the classroom because he was destroying it. I had to put him in a school for children who can't function in public school. He went there for 9 months. He hit me, kicked me, spit on me, screamed at me, actively defied me and laughed about it. I had to repotty train him. He had been having accidents prior to coming to me. I filed an investigation for sexual assault, which I 100% know he was, but no evidence, blah blah. I started him in therapy. He has ODD, ADHD, RAD and PTSD. I had to leave class every day to pick him up. I was scared I was going to fail, but somehow I didn't. I got a job in the emergency department and had to leave a lot to pick him up. Scared I was going to get fired. But didn't. I tried everything. I cried and prayed more than I ever have. I read 100 different parenting books. I went to therapy for myself because it was so much and I felt like my 2 children weren't getting any of the attention they deserved because what little I had to pour I poured into him. I started going to therapy with him weekly. One day I went to the courthouse to relinquish my custodial rights. I just couldn't take it anymore. 2 days later I took it back and kept telling myself, don't give up. Be who you needed. My brother hasn't had any accidents in a year. He hasn't harmed any animals. He had to repeat kindergarten, but he has repeated it in public school and I haven't had to pick him up in over 6 months. He can now count to 100 when before he couldn't even recognize the numbers between 1 and 10. He can read when before he couldn't even recognize any letters of the alphabet. He says please and thank you and listens when he is told to do something or to stop doing something. He doesn't kick or hit or bite or scream. And just last week he walked across the stage as a kindergarten graduate. A day I often wondered would even be possible. I believe my brother, my son, is going to grow up and do very big things. I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad I could be who I needed.